Well, new video being released from a 2011 taxpayer-funded cultural sensitivity training program, as it's called, at the Department of Agriculture, this time showing a diversity awareness trainer asking employees to chant about discrimination and suggesting the United States took over what used to be Mexico.
I want you to say, if we work for a federal agency, say that.
If we work for a federal agency,
we have discriminated in the past.
we have discriminated in the past.
Mexicans came to this country last night and illegally. Never mind that the United States expanded and took over what used to be Mexico. If the truth be known in a lot of these circumstances, if you tell some of these Mexicans, go back where you came from, they go to Texas, California, Arizona.
Well, joining me now to give us, to psychoanalyze the sensitivity trainer and the sensitivity training, clinical psychologist, Dr. Kathryn Smerling. Great to have you here.
Pleasure.
I mean, I've watched this act in various parts over the course of the last week. What's your reaction?
It's mystifying. It's absolutely mystifying. Sensitivity training is supposed to be a feedback loop. It's supposed to actively involve people in learning how to put yourself in someone else's shoes. What he's doing is dictating, and what he's doing is lecturing. It's so alien to what really sensitivity training is and how it affects experience. Because sensitivity training is more than words, it's also experience.
It's experience, and insensitivity training, by definition, is to open one's mind rather than close it. That's the stuff of indoctrination. I have never, and I've had some familiarity with sensitivity training. I actually did sensitivity training early on as a young man for the Department of Labor. I mean, this is extraordinary to witness this. Watch this, if you will, and give us your reaction to this kind of training. And try to tell us why in the world the Department of Agriculture would engage in something like this.
I want you to say America was founded by outsiders. Say that. Who are today's insiders. We get very nervous about today's outsiders. I want you to say the pilgrims were illegal aliens. Say the pilgrims never gave their passport to the Indians.
What do you think?
The only possible plausible explanation I can think of is that he wanted to make people uncomfortable and therefore for them to think about what he was saying. But this is such a bizarre way of trying to reach people, and it's such a disconnect to what sensitivity training is and is needed. It's mystifying, honestly, Lou. It really is.
The chanting nonsense and the fact that taxpayer dollars are being spent on this outfit is incredible. Among some of the language here, if you tell some of those Mexicans, quote, go back where you came from, quote, as if anybody is, he creates straw men and then makes what he thinks is a riotous joke, apparently. But it's really... the chanting, the indoctrination. I was wondering why he didn't just explain what the Treaty of Guadalupe, 1848, was all about. Maybe that would have helped him in his sensitivity training. Or maybe he could have taken into account the fact that this is the only nation on the planet in which that has ever permitted even the consideration of making 11 million people who entered it illegally. Citizens of the United States.
Absolutely. Listen, our country has been built on inclusion, not exclusion.
You know, that's a great point, too, because part of the sensitivity training, I think, might be that they need to kind of lift up their consciousness about our values.
Absolutely.
And maybe point out that 300,000 Americans died to free the slaves. No other country on earth has ever gone to war with itself to free slaves. It's an extraordinary and noble moment in our history that is not mentioned very often.
I will tell you something, Lou, that really strikes me is that this man, Mr. Balances, seems to be so egomaniacal. It seems to be such about him rather than about what the focus of sensitivity training should be. It's almost like he's enjoying being an actor up there without the purpose. It's a power.
The ego trip, whatever it might be.
I'm amazed.
But it's great that that our audience gets to see that and see
Yes,
what's going on.
because
and to
that's
hear
part
a
of our country,
professional
too.
Yours view of what it all means. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.